Lanre Aina, Business Development Analyst, Google Nigeria. Lanre Aina currently works out of the Google office in Nigeria as a business development analyst, where he works closely with media and entertainment-based businesses to develop and deepen their online engagement and social media strategies. Prior to joining Google, Lanre worked in the telecommunication industry as a systems engineer with General Electric's Advanced Communications Unit in Massachusetts and as a technical consultant with Telecom Africa, New York. He is passionate about social enterprise, and in his spare time, he volunteers his skills supporting peer mentorship and youth-focused career advisory programs. Speaking on the topic, the emerging digital economy in Nigeria, ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome on stage Lanre Aina.
So hi guys, how are you? So I want to talk about the emerging digital economy, and I don't want to bore you. I want to make sure that it applies to your daily lives. I work at Google. I've worked at Google for about 4 years, and I've had the opportunity of working with big businesses, small businesses. So what I want to share today is my own experience in the digital space, right? So just a cross section. Do we have anybody who's running a business? Small, big, large, medium? Okay. What kind of business do you run, sir? What, photography? Okay, the guy in front of you with the check, or stripe, yeah. What do you run? What's that? You're into arts and craft. Are you really good? Okay. What's your name? How come we don't know you? That's good. It's coming, right? So how do you get the word out about your business? SMS. Okay. What else? Oh, word of mouth. Okay. What else? Okay. So, I know a lot of people have spoken before me. So you're already setting your goals mentally, I believe. A year from now, how much do you want to make as an art and craft expert? Do you have that goal? Do you have that mental number? You don't have to share it so people don't rob you. Right? But you have to have a goal. So what I want to do is that how do we demystify digital? And I know there are a lot of things happening across the web. I had a chat on Twitter, my first Twitter chat. So Agbe, thank you. My first Twitter chat, was it yesterday? Or 2 days ago? It was 2 days ago. And it was massive. And I was tempted to check if I was trending. It's like, maybe I'm trending in Ikoyi, but maybe not the whole Lagos, but in Ikoyi. Right? That was pretty cool. But there's more to digital than Twitter. There's more to digital than Facebook. There's more to digital than Google. What I want to talk to you today about is the principles of digital. It works across the board. It doesn't have to be on one platform, right? And how to be fluid on digital. So let me give you a funny example. So on Facebook the other day, I got a friend request, and I don't go to Facebook very often, not because I don't like the platform, but I get busy, right? So I can't see all the friend requests. And I got this very specific one, and I had to check because it was my mother. And she said, she poked. Like, poke? Who still pokes? Right? So I had to call. I said, Momsy, do you have a profile on Facebook? Facebook, man. That thing is nice. I put up my picture. In fact, I put up the family pictures. I said, please, don't. Right? And she's been hounding me, add me back, and I'll decline. Right? So digital is amazing. Right? But beyond poking and friends, how do we leverage it for our businesses? I think that's more important, right? You guys are young guys, right? A lot of people are feeling the pinch. You might not be able to secure jobs as fast as you want to. So a lot of you guys are going into business, right? We have camera guys in the house. There's a photographer there. There's a guy who does art. How do you leverage platforms like this? So let's go to the next slide. Let's play that video. This is what digital sounds like to a lot of us when it comes to our businesses, or when it comes to the business of digital. So just click on the video. There should be a... The next slide. Okay, so you know who the guy is, right? What does the guy do for a living? No, he's not an actor. What does he do for a living? He's a bomb specialist, right? So if there's a bomb in this house, they'll call that kind of guy. Come on, the bomb is here. Detonate, right? But he's taking time out and he's saying, look, social media is tough, right? The customer is telling you to do 360 activation, flash mob, everything. We have to trend on Twitter. At the same time, we have to be top mentions on Facebook. We have to integrate Google Plus and make sure that we have 5,000 people watching. That's crazy stuff. In fact, it's more crazy than his job, right? That's what he's saying. Next slide. Well, for a lot of us, digital is like that, right? But the truth is, it's something that we have to master. We have to master because it's become an impending evolution. Like, you can't run away from it. And I remember digital 5 years ago, people were like, oh yeah, that's where the college people play on Facebook. They share pictures and all that funny stuff, right? But it's become our evolution, right? Funny image. I saw it online, right? Next slide. So what do we do about it? So there are a lot of people in this generation that will say, oh, you know, I'm online, we're having fun, and it's not serious stuff. This is my serious stuff. This is my business. I do art, and I sell, and people that want hit me up on my phone, and I send SMS. That's my serious stuff. Digital is like when I just have fun and I share pictures. But the truth is, you have a new generation of people who are digital first. In fact, I wanted to share this because there was a research done on babies, and the couple of babies they did the research on, which is the next video, you can play it, actually thought that magazines were broken down iPads. Do you understand what I mean? Play that video. Play the next video. Next slide. It's a video online. You can check it out. So just pay attention. We won't play to the end so that we move very quick. Can you see that? So check baby's iPad, not working. You find it on YouTube. Right, so that's the new, and why I wanted to show that is that although technology is ahead, although technology has gotten us to a place where we can talk to anybody at any time, we can communicate with people in the US. As a matter of fact, you might have people in Ukraine who want to buy your pictures because you have them online, you have a website. Our behavior hasn't caught on, so we're lagging in terms of behavior. How do I know this? Do you have a website? Not yet. It should be unheard of. We've evolved, right? We've evolved. Digital is part of our lives. Mobile is the future, right? The website is as important as the concept itself. Do you get my point? So I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying that we need to make sure that our behavior, right, meets up with the technology of the time, right? So let's talk a little bit about the technology, right? So what do we have here? Let's make the most of realities on the connected world. Next slide. Does this work? I tried, it didn't work. Does this work? It does? Oh, it doesn't. Okay. Right? So what is the digital economy? Anyone? The answer is right there now. What's the digital economy? Oh, you can't see it. So digital economy, my words, it's a new layer of market, business performance, and user experience made possible through connected technologies. And the reason why I define it this way is it's not a separate economy. Right? Don't think about digital as a separate economy. Oh, those guys, they're digital experts, man, they're making money. Right? We're doing importing and exporting here. Right? It's a new layer. It's not a new economy. It's just a new ring that has been built on the old economy, right, through connected technologies or connected devices, right? So the question we're trying to ask today, how do we use this platform, how do we use this technology or this economy to drive the core economy that we're in, right? How many of you do makeup here? Okay, makeup? Is that what they call it, makeup or makeover? Okay, makeup, okay. Any makeup? Makeup? Website? Not yet. Website? Not yet. Instagram? Okay. How many followers? 500. How many of those 500 have rang you up and said, oh, my sister is getting married, I want you to come and help me? 2. How many? 5. How many? None. Instagram? Oh, you're not on Instagram yet. Right? How do you get your customers? You have your contact. On where? And they call you. Where do you have your contact? I can't hear that. On your profile. Or your Instagram profile, and they call you. And you're sure it's from Instagram. You have it on Twitter. So it's from online. Right? So what she's done effectively is that she has a business, right, which is really a word of mouth business. Because you see very pretty girls, Taloshe makeover, one Kemi Beauty. Right? And you, Kemi Beauty, she's really good. How much? She's cheaper than all these people and she does it well. She's trained in Yankee. Nice. I have this wedding coming up and I want to, right? So, word of mouth, but you've extended that using this. So again, that's digital, that's you leveraging the digital economy, right? Next slide. I thought I'll show this because, so what's your name? Esther. So Esther is already leveraging the digital economy. Maybe not at mass or mass scale, right? But can you imagine that a little over 10 years ago, we didn't have these numbers here? Should I read them out? There's 700 million monthly users sending 10 billion messages per day on WhatsApp. Right? That's the new layer. That's the new ring. Before WhatsApp, what were people doing? SMS. How much did it cost you to potentially send to, say, 50,000 users? How much did that cost you? 250,000 naira. There's someone that's been doing SMS for a while. Right? But now you can send on WhatsApp and say, please share, please forward. Remember the girl who was using salt to bath during Ebola? I don't know how I got it. I got that message. And I had to call. I said, salt is the remedy, guys. But that message went round. Did she pay for it? No. She just crafted a great message and circulated that. That's massive. Right? 1 billion, how many Facebook users? 1 billion. If Facebook was a country. What? After China or India? Who's more now, India or China? Right? 4 billion YouTube views in one day. How much views does Channels TV get on TV? How many people watch them prime time, 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock news? What? Oh, I thought you were answering. Okay. What's the answer? Oh, you watch news. Okay. So 1. No. I don't know. It's 5 million people? I don't know. 5 to 6 million? Prime time? I don't know. About that. Right? So again, this is our new reality. Right? It's the new layer. Right? It hasn't changed the core per se, but it's changed our behavior around how we even react to the core economy. Right? So how do we leverage it? Next slide. So I decided to take those numbers and look at the Nigerian numbers. Right? How many active mobile phones? 140 million. I think this was from Internet Lifestar. 35% of the 19 million phones sold in 2014 were smartphones. Does that sound nice? 35% of 19 million. What's that? So more people are moving, right? There's a growing trend of people moving away from regular phones to smartphones, allowing them to do more, right? Smartphones, hopefully down the line, will become data-enabled. As they become data-enabled, they'll have WhatsApp. They'll have all those different things, right? 65% of the local search volume happens on mobile, as it is now, right? So it's here already. People are on their road, they're driving, they're sleeping, and they're on their phones, right? 50 million Nigerian internet users, 800% more than just 10 years ago. Massive, it's massive. Now, the reason why I'm painting all these numbers, I'm not trying to bore you, but I'm just trying to paint the reality that for your business, as you think it, digital is the next thing. Right? He's already painting. He needs a website. He needs to be online. He needs to talk about his business. Right? Are you paying attention? Next slide. So these are Nigerian numbers, and I thought I'll just highlight them. Google numbers. Online numbers, sorry. So 43% of Nigerians mostly use or they interact with the internet on their mobile phones. Right? 5% use mostly desktop. So that's dying out. Right? What else? 29% only use mobile. They don't even have laptops. Do you have laptop? Okay, I know they use laptop. The whole resume I did right down for here for my mobile phone. Right? And about 23% evenly split between mobile and desktop. The reason why I'm pointing this is that, so first I'm saying that digital is our future. We can't run away from it, right? It's here, it's our present, right? It's important that as we think of those ideas and businesses, we're thinking digital. What's the plan? What's the strategy? How do I get online? How am I telling my story? But as I'm telling my story, the kind of content that I'm creating is not desktop content. It's what kind of content? Mobile content. And it's important. Right? So when you're telling those stories about your business, you don't want 10-minute video. Right? Because I'm watching mobile. Hi, my name is this. I'm an artist. And you know, I've been painting for, what's this? I beg. Mikel Score. Right? Because mobile is, there's so much I want to do on mobile. So if you're boring me, I'm switching. Right? So you want to tell a story that is concise. Right? You want to have pictures that are bold, that I can see on my phone as you're telling those stories, right? So we're creating a background now. Next slide. Because of this new digital economy, we have businesses like Jumia, Konga. I know you like Due Day. The Due Day guys told me that I could buy, what was it? I could get a laptop for like, I think it was 2,000 naira. I said, guys, you're into phone, I know. They said, check. I know, I got on the website and it was counting down. That thing was spontaneous. I didn't need a laptop. I was like, this is too good to be true, right? So these businesses didn't exist 3 years ago. But they do because of this new ring, this new digital ring, right? I'm not sure if they're profitable yet, but they're doing a whole lot of business, right? I'm not sure if they're profitable. I don't know what the details are. Right? Next slide. How about the elections? Right? No favorite, but I just thought I'd put that up. I decided to put it up because when I looked at all the guys who use social media during the election, so Governor Ambode, who else? The VP, right? Oshibajo, right? Who else was very good on social media? Who? Jimmy was good. El Rufai was good. Who else? Fayose. No, Fayose wasn't up now. It wasn't up for election. He was talking though, but Fayose was buying front pages of newspapers. It wasn't online. Right? But I thought I'll highlight this, right? So the first thing was that Jimmy Agbaje did a hangout with Channels TV without being at Channels TV. Did you guys remember that? So he's hanging out in some library somewhere. He has a whole bunch of young people joining him, right? I remember she was a fashion designer. This guy was in school, a student. There was a barber. And all these guys joined from their mobile phones or their what's it called? Their laptops. And they joined him in his library. Right? And Channels TV joined the conversation and decided to take the entire conversation and broadcast it on TV. I'm like, what world is that? Right? Super complicated. But very effective. Right? And he could talk with people who would probably never see him face to face. So this is, I thought I would highlight that because the technology would not be used unless you use it. How you use it is left to you. You have to figure out what behavior works for you guys in Nigeria. Right? China might be slightly different. America might be slightly different. But I thought I'd highlight that as you think about it. Right? So have a conversation with me. If you can't join the room, you can watch on YouTube or watch on Channels TV. I thought that was pretty weird. Right? Channels TV was broadcasting on YouTube live. So if you didn't get the results online, I'd be on TV, you could come online to come and watch it. I thought that was pretty cool also. But I wanted to highlight this. This was the most viral piece of content on Facebook of any political group. His last post, I believe, where he said, oh, thank you, we lost, right? But thank you for all the support, got 10,000 likes in 24 hours, right? 10 years ago, Jimmy would be writing a letter. Letter to who? Right? Massive. 10,000 likes, 5,000 reshares, 6,000 comments, something ridiculous like that. Still on Facebook, you can go check it out. Right? But that's the power of where we are. That you can stay in your space, right? And you can control people outside your sphere. Or interact with people outside your sphere. Next slide. Providing a background. How many of you, before I get here, how many of you remember that guy? What did he do wrong? I have a t-shirt, by the way. What did he do wrong? That's all. Let me tell you something, guys. Oga at the top was not the first guy to mess up on TV. Unfortunately, they uploaded that video. How many of you watched that video on Channels TV? Channels on TV. How many of you saw it on TV? Okay, so let's say about 10%. How many of you saw it online? Look, I watched that video over and over. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. Sometimes I don't know my password. Right? How much more of website? Okay, www. Right? Go and die. Who recorded Go and Die? Mobile phone. Right? It wasn't Channels TV, it wasn't AIT. It was one guy just saying, what's your guy they do for you? Oh God, that's rude though. Right? And because someone recorded that, how much did she make? Cool 2 million. Was it 2 million? I think it was 2 million. It was 2 million naira in advance, right? Again, I'm not trying to be political, but I need you to understand that this digital economy is here to stay. Even if you're a king, you have to get savvy. Go and open Twitter. Right? So the amazing thing about this is, and again, you could swing either way. He said he didn't say it. I support, I don't support. That's not what we're saying. But the king, first of all, denied that he said it. I didn't say, say it here. Who was there? I didn't say it. 6 hours later, we got the audio. This is not me now. It's like that other audio of Oga Fayose and the remaining people. Right? People, look, all you American people can do stuff with this audio stuff. Sounds like me, it's not me. Right? 6 hours after that, we got the video. A clip. 3 hours after that, we saw the full clip. Right? Sorry, the slide before. Sorry about that. But what I want to bring up was what gave it legs, right? So for the whole 24 hours, I didn't even know anything was happening. And people were like, I just saw Oba Akinolu, right? Trending. Why? Is he running for president? Right? And I got on Twitter and I started to click, what did the king? Is the king dead? Is he alive? Did he get married to somebody else? What's going on? And I start to scroll, and some Nigerian had created a nice meme, perfect meme, with Governor Fashola and everyone looking at the king and saying, "Sure, right?" So what I'm saying is, although it was news, Platforms like Twitter, platforms like Facebook made it grow legs and gave it a new definition, created a new interpretation of what was going on. Next slide. Right? And some people also did awesome things. Some people pledged to vote. I mean, there are all sorts of things going on around the elections, right? Using mobile phones. Next slide. So I want to talk. So I've sort of painted a background, right? Digital is here to stay. It's not a respecter of anyone, right? If you have the right stuff to serve, people will pay attention to you. And I thought I'd talk about these two guys. I know them very well, right? Kunle Afolayan. Yeah? Nollywood, nice movies, right? You go to the cinema, you go watch, right? One of the trailblazers. How many of you know Yomi Black? How many of you watch Lagos Big Girl? No Yomi Black in the house? No? You guys don't watch YouTube? Right? So Yomi Black is a content creator on YouTube, and he creates skits, funny skits. That's very, very funny skits. Benga is a filmmaker, right? Yomi definitely is not as rich as Benga, right? But he has an expression, right? He wants to express himself through content. He wants to be a movie maker, but he doesn't have money for big-time movies, so he's creating skits and perfecting his act, right? These two guys are both influential in their own way, right? As a matter of fact, I was having a session one day, and I was talking about Yomi Black, and somebody tweeted at him and said, Yomi Lanre Aina is talking about you here. And Yomi tweeted back at the guy and said, say hi to Lanre. By the way, I just got commissioned by Access Bank, 26 skits. So I had to Yomi, how far now? You know where were you when you didn't have camera? Now you have camera. But the thing is, he's influential in his own way. Why did Access Bank not call Kunle Afolayan? Anybody? There's no correct answer. Yeah? What? Captive audience. There's an audience that Yomi is talking to that Kunle doesn't have access to. Right? And as a result, Yomi has created value around his brand. Not because it's on TV, because it's online. Does it make sense? Right? So, Kunle, big boy. Yomi, big boy. Also, in his own world. Does that make sense? And what I'm trying to paint is, the makeup girls, ladies. So I know some of you guys, you look at Banke, Meshida, BM Pro, right? Tara, those like goddesses, right, in the makeup world, right? But again, with the digital economy, this is a dynamic that keeps on happening, right? They would have their own customers where they're serving, right? So I'll give you an example. The first lady wants to do makeup. Hey, Banke, when are you going to fly down to Abuja and, make me over, right? But you might find a lot of young ladies, right, who are upwardly mobile. They work at banks, GT Bank. They might not be able to afford a bank Meshida, but they've seen your stuff on Instagram and like, you're pretty good. Do you mind, we're having this get-together at Parako, so do you mind just setting, is that what they call it? Right? So this dynamic always happens with the introduction of this of our digital economy. Next slide. So let me move really quick. So what are the few things that you need to know? Because we're in a digital economy, they're digital consumers, and because they're digital consumers, they have very unique behaviors, right? All of us do, right? And this is sort of a summary of it. So we're not TV generation anymore. So TV would target, everybody's going to be watching 9 o'clock news, so I need an ad there. But we're not. With the digital consumer, you guys have probably been here for 5 hours, right? How many of you have gone on Linda Ikeji since you got here? No, okay? How many of you get on Linda Ikeji when you get home? A few people, right? You're going to Linda Ikeji on demand. No one is telling you what time to go to Linda Ikeji or not. So with the digital consumer, there are multiple micro moments. It's not just one big moment anymore. It's multiple micro moments. I can be here, I can be there, right? And as a result, you want to make sure that if you're a brand or if you're a business, you're speaking to them at all those opportunities. Does that make sense? Right? And we'll explain that as we go. They're always social because they're on mobile, right? So what's in the happen? Kai, this guy, the trench, big boy, right? They're always mobile. They're always social, right? They are brand advocates and critics. What does that mean? Let me tell you what it means. When I get on Linda AKG, before I read the story, I read the comments. Does that happen to anybody? You just say, Nigerians, why? Right? I want to read the comments, right? What are people saying? In fact, I don't click on stories that don't have more than 100 comments. Does that happen to anybody? Right? If there are 300 comments, that story is hot. Let me check it. Right? So again, because they're critics, right? Apart from the fact that we Nigerians have to sort of start getting polite in the way we write our comments, but Nigerians go in hard. I'm a guy. You know? So they're critics, and you have to understand that. So they're not just your consumers. They want to be co-creators, even if they don't tell you. Right? So Linda might put out a picture and say, Linda, that picture is not nice. Linda, why are you even putting up this post? This is not news. Right? Those are their comments. They have a share in Linda. As a matter of fact, I saw Linda has a community, right? What do they call themselves? LIBers? Oh, you guys don't know that? Okay. Attention span of people online. What do you think? How many minutes? How many hours? How many seconds? What? 6 seconds. That's your attention span. Right? According to Brian Solis. If you're not grabbing my attention in the first 6 seconds, I'm moving on to something else. Does that make sense, guys? And ultimately, mobile device has become the second screen, and for the first time, people own their own television, which is very different. So I'm consuming solo. My guy, send me that picture. I go share with you, no worry. Right? How many times do you do like this? Oh, all 10 of you, come and see my phone. What do you say? My guy, I go send them to you, no worry. You did Instagram, Abby? Right? So people for the first time are owning their own screens. It's not a big screen where 5 people in the family sit in front of. And as a result, that affects how consumers interact with your good or with your service. Does that make sense, guys? And once you understand that, then that helps you tell your stories better. That helps you structure your website better, right? You want to have a picture bias, less of words, because it's just 6 seconds. People don't have time to read. Maybe not, right? So I want a picture that almost says everything I'm trying to say, then one line of text, right? And if people want to read, maybe they can click and read more, right? I want to make sure it's on mobile because majority of people are getting on mobile first before desktop, right? Now, the new generation, they're always social, so I have to be on all those platforms where it makes sense. Are you guys with me? Are you getting bored? Next slide. Let's move quick. Remember I talked about multiple moments? Right? Moments of truth. You can never really know because there are many of them. But this is how you try to make sure that you're present in every single moment of truth. Right? And there are a lot of them, but these are the 4 that I think are the most important. So the first moment is what? I want to know moment. Are you guys paying attention? I want to know what? Let's go back to our makeup ladies. Esther, what do you think your customers want to know? Yeah, brows are important. Ladies don't mess with their brows, right? So I want to know how to shape my brow. Or, in fact, I saw Beyonce's picture at the Grammys last week. She had this makeup that didn't look like makeup. It was like, I knew she was made up, but there was no makeup. What do you call that, Esther? Eh? Eh? Is there an industry name? Nude. There we go. Guys, I hope you're paying attention. Nude makeup, right? So I'm like, I like that makeup. So it's not your face like Jezebel, but it's, you're looking good. And you didn't put powder. Okay. Right? So you want ladies to learn that. So, are you listening? In the traditional sense, people say, don't give your secret. Esther, that's your secret formula. That's your cook formula. Once you give it out, you know all these makeup girls that they didn't spend as much money as you did to go to makeup school. Right? In the digital world, you share it. Why do you share it? Why do you share your nude formula? Why? Hold on, first, it's not a secret anymore. Do you understand what I mean? Why are you hoarding it? You might have your specific way of doing it, but nude is nude. Right? So you want to say it, and when you say it as if nobody else has said it. Hi guys, my name is Esther, and a lot of you guys have been hitting me up on Twitter, even if you have 2 followers. Right? And saying, Esther, we like your pictures, we like your nude formula, and all that. All your pictures look good, all the girls, right? This is business now. And you now say, well, you guys have been disturbing me, so I'm going to make a video about how to do your nude makeup in 2 minutes at a cheap price. In fact, I can talk about maybe the products I use, that sort of thing, right? And you do that video. Imagine if I saw that video, someone just randomly shared it on Instagram, and I saw it. And I went to your YouTube channel, and I saw 20 other videos. How to do the Beyonce makeup, how to do the Kim Kardashian makeup, how to do this one, how to do that one. What do you think will be going through my own mind? I'll think you're an expert, even if you didn't go to makeup school. I'd be like, I think this girl is good, though. The fact that she can even shoot video, she's landed. Right? Meanwhile, you're shooting video from your webcam on your laptop. Right? So again, that's the moment I want to know. Right? So again, apply to all your businesses. What do people want to know? Who is a software engineer here? Any software engineers? Guys, geeks, they're shy. Where are they? No, I'm not going to ask you to code now. What do you design? What? Mobile apps. Fantastic. Right? So do you have a business or do you work for someone else? Are you good? Are you really good? Yeah. But you're getting there. Okay. You don't have to be amazingly good. Right? So one way of I want to know is, what's your name? Chi? Okay. Start a blog. Musings. I'm thinking about, hey guys, I stumbled on this platform. So we'll move quick. So I stumbled on this, and I was just curious to know how it works. And I found out that this is how it works, and do you understand what I mean? So you can talk about it. Or the things that you're good at, you can share. Right? But what happens is that you start to build a profile, right, and a body of work that will make people look at you as a perceived expert. Because I don't know if you are. Right? Does that make sense? I want to know. I want to go. I want to go where? I want to go home. I'm hungry. Larry, get off stage. Right? I want to go. This is very important. How many of you are on maps? Whether Facebook or Google, you're on maps. Your store is on maps. If I Google you, I'll find you on maps. Facebook. No, maps. This is my location. This is my office address. You have that. That's very important. Why is it important? Business online. Okay, fantastic. So you did that. You want to make sure that when people search, they can find where to go. Right? I just landed from UK, man. Who does good braids here? Braids. Right? You make a couple of phone calls, they're not picking up. Let me just search. Within my 5 kilometers of where I stay. Right? So if you're doing that, you want to make sure that you're online, that people can see you. Very, very important. Right? Next one, I want to do. So this is where your DIYs come in. Esther. Right? You want to help people be able to do more. Right? Through your DIYs. And the last part is I want to buy, which is the ultimate part. So they've seen the other I want. But ultimately, you want to be able to say, okay, well, if you want to buy my pictures, This is where to get them, if you like the art, right? So you can do a time lapse as part of your content, and you can upload it, right? You know what a time lapse is, right? So it could have taken you 3 hours to draw in real life, but in video you fast forward it, so it's like 2 minutes, right? And you put that up and you show the before and the after, right? And people like it, they share it. Oh, this is amazing. But if they want to buy, you want to be able to present that, right? Next slide. So when you want to tell your stories, right, you want to make sure that they're continuous conversations and not intermittent noises or pieces of noise, right? What do I mean? You use the hero hub hygiene. Hero being, you might have a killer piece of content, right, that is well produced, fantastic, right? People are like, oh, that's a very good video. But after that, you want to make sure that you have hygiene content. So this is consistent content of how-tos, do-it-yourself, videos that are answering all those different questions, right? And all these videos should be placed in a hub. They shouldn't be all over the place. They should be in one YouTube channel or one Instagram profile. Do you get what I mean? So that people can come. And the reason why you want to do it this way is that the reason why people will buy from you is because they feel that you have value that no one else is providing, and a general sense that you're legit, you're an expert. You understand what I mean? Does that make sense? And that's what you want to do, and that's what this formula allows you to do, right? So you don't have to do hero content because they're usually very expensive content, skydiving, killer, advertisement type content. But for the small businesses, you want to do hygiene, a lot of hygiene content, right? How-tos, quick tips, checklists, all that stuff, and bury them within a space that everyone can see the continuation of that conversation. Does that make sense? Okay, next slide. So sometimes, a lot of you will say, this is me and that's my business. But a lot of times, you are the business. Does that make sense? Hello? Again, it's part of the conversation. Because what you're selling is your expertise. Is that look, guys, I can do this. And I can do this because, have you seen all my videos? I'm definitely an expert. I'm responding to you guys on Twitter. In fact, I'm having tweet chats now about my field. Right? Esther, what do you think we can wear? What do you think goes with black? What are different designs we can do with adire? Or can you do an adire makeover that you do on my face, but it also fits the dress that I'm wearing? I'm not sure if that happens in your world, but do you get does that happen? It does, right? Okay, here we go. So, what? It's possible, right? So again, it's very important. So when you think about Huffington Post, who do you think about? Right? Who? Click. Right? Ariana. There's almost no difference between her and her business and the business she's running. Next slide. How many of you know her? I came for the makeup girls today. How many of you know Michelle Phan? You know her, right? You all need to go check her up, right? If you're doing makeover or makeup. And if you're not doing makeovers, you can also check her up. And the reason being, Michelle Phan uses this Hero Hub hygiene very well. Right? And her results show it. Michelle Phan has over 7 million subscribers, over 1 billion views on YouTube. Right? She's probably the most successful individual on YouTube, apart from stars, right? So if you're not Justin Bieber and all that, Michelle Phan. Over 1 billion views. Why? Because she uses this formula very well. So you find a video where she does a travel diary. Hey guys, I'm in Korea, and she's a makeup person, but she's just enjoying the beauty of Korea. Right? Then apart from that, she shows you her hygiene. Right? Videos that you can watch. Tips. How do you look like this? Okay, time to go. Right? And the last part, the hub. So if you go to a channel, you find all the videos in one place. Does that make sense? Okay, so let's round up. I'll round up with this slide. So as you think about what you guys want to do, remember that you don't have to be a superstar to be successful. All you need to do is tell a wonderful story, right? The new influencers in our generation are online, and you can see them. Sometimes they might walk into this room and you don't recognize them, right? But what they've done effectively, whether unknowingly or knowingly, is that they've created a hub that people can come into, and they've created different variants of content that people can enjoy. Can we move to the last slide? Very last slide. Okay, so I'll end with this story. As you think about your businesses, or you think about what you want to do, Oral Brush is probably one of the most successful toothbrushes, technically, in the world. Why? It's not a toothbrush, it's a tongue brush. And the person who created Oral Brush came up with the concept that if you want to keep your mouth clean, it's not really about brushing your teeth, it's about brushing your tongue. And the toothbrush didn't quite cut it. So he designed the Oral Brush. And he went to Walmart and went to all these big supermarkets or supermarket chains. I said, hey, guys, I have this thing. You guys have to sell it. People will love it. And they were like, dude, this thing doesn't make sense. People already buy brushes. Why do you need Oral Brush? Right? And as it kept on pushing, they decided to hang Oral Brush right next to where people were checking out, right? With the sense that if people like it, they'll buy it. No one bought it. So this guy gave up on Oral Brush until he met a team of young people like yourself. And they said, why don't we put it on YouTube? Why don't we talk about this product on YouTube and create exciting videos that would generate interest? In 1 year of doing it, they sold 1 million Oral Brushes, right? And the people who said, don't hang your stuff here, came back and said, guys, we can make this an international product, right? Now, again, and you guys can Google Oral Brush and go learn about it, but again, the concept remains, there's a core economy, right, which is the traditional economy. There's a new economy that has been built around that. It's a ring called the digital economy. And it's digital not because it's quite different from the core, but because there are new connection points, new platforms, right? Now, with the digital economy, people are creating new things and talking about those new things in different ways without necessarily spending the money of the core economy, right? And in the digital economy, they don't care if you're rich, if you're poor. People, if they like your product, if they like your story, just gravitate towards it. So it's left to you guys to figure out how to tell that story and to tell it well. Does that make sense? Okay, thank you for your time. You've been very kind.